Hello, everybody. It's the coach welcoming you to Madden Ultimate Team. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Between our visitors and the Green Bay Packers.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off. Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Packers pick it up. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And the fake attempt here not going to work. Got a little yardage, but not enough to get to the goal line. I thought the days of the fake extra point were numbered once they moved these kicks back to the 15. Apparently, I was mistaken.
Yeah, I was wondering who was ever going to try to do this. In fact, I quit wondering. I didn't think it would ever happen. Taking a fake from the 15-yard line to try and pick up an extra point, I didn't think anyone would ever call this.
And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense.
On the double. 55. I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school. Check safety, check safety. 5.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Every time I watch LT blow up plays just like that one, I think of one quote. You can run, but you can't hide.
He won a record 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards back in his day. He's also the league MVP in 1986.
One of 2 defensive players who won the MVP award in the NFL. The second one, Alan Page with the Minnesota Vikings, the linchpin of their Purple People Eaters defense.
Throwing now is Manning. He'll get it in the hands of Clark. Complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Here's Hester. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Packers. That punt returned 69 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the gun, it's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And I guess that makes up for the earlier missed 2-point try here to get him to 14.
Yeah, that aggressiveness, it reminds me a lot of when basketball first adopted the 3-point shot. and people were starting to realize that 3 for 2 was really starting to work for them. In this case now, maybe the 2 for 1 is coming into play in the NFL.
This will be taken very short. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right?
Now the ball comes loose, and the Packers pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a give, right side. Dickerson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Ray Lewis up from his linebacker spot to make the play. On 2nd down, Dickerson. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. 30 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line.
Now a hit and a loose football. Taking it right down Broadway. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Darren Waller taking it in as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I'm glad we were paying attention during the rules seminar because we learned the only time you can't advance a fumble like that is in the last 2 minutes of either half.
Right. Other than that, if that ball's out, whether forward or backwards, it's live and free for anybody.
No doubt about it. When you say free, that means he's got free reign to pick it up and go. And that's exactly what happened there. Took it in for a touchdown.
So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here.
Set 50, plant. I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense. Now.
On first down, Manning, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's the Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor doing what he does best.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Manning. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Lawrence Taylor picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On 3rd and long, it's Manning. And quickly to his tight end, Clark. That's caught. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Here's Thomas Morstead now. As their opening drive stalls out, he's on to punt. On the return, Hester. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
They'll run on 1st down. Dickerson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Always got some breathing room. 20. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half as his guys continue to pour it on. And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2. Jackson from the shotgun, rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken short. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense.
Right there in the middle, 55. Exit. Go.
On 1st down, Peyton. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. And he'll give it here to his running back. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this 1st half of action. That'll be caught by Rice. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. He's got his big tight end, Dallas Clark. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Manning. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lawrence Taylor able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline.
Come on now, let's go.
Let's switch gears, talk about Matt LaFleur and what he did in his 1st season as Green Bay comes back out here, Charles. 13-3, and really, by all accounts, exceeding expectations. A win over Seattle in the divisional round, and then that 49er run game, and Raheem Mostert did them in. But where do they go from here looking forward to Matt LaFleur's 2nd season?
Yeah, can you believe 13-3 probably won't win Coach of the Year?
I know, right?
You know, John Harbaugh in Baltimore, Kyle Shanahan getting to the Super Bowl with San Francisco. But still, as you said, an incredible 1st year for a rookie head coach.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, That's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Flushed out right. He'll run it. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
On 2nd and 2, Manning, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Throwing on first down is Manning. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing on 2nd and long. Manning, he'll drop this off to Peyton. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half. Manning going to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And the Packers are in for the score. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys.
Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for him. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And did he get the football to break the play? No, he did not. They'll say he's out of bounds shy of the goal line, and they'll be denied on the 2-point conversion. So that one goes down as a 99-yard kick return for 6 from the 1-yard line all the way to the house on the other end. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down, and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie. Check, check. Lucky.
They'll run on first down. Peyton, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now, we've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
10-2 stop.
55.
Drop deep.
From the gun on 3rd down, Manning. He's got it complete to Clark. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Got a man, it's Randy Moss, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain there of 21 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. On 2nd down now, Dickerson. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Got a man, it's Randy Moss. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now Jackson. He'll buy some time right. He is going to find Hill here. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
They'll come out in the pistol. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Certainly not what the offense wanted down here, going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, well, look who got involved. I mean, when you got a strong safety who can drop into the box, never needs an invitation to be one of those guys in run defense, does he? Wakes up every morning just a little bit ticked off.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 6. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over. I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here.
Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's Jackson to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson, sliding out of the pocket. And it is incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it?
Here we go.
We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
To throw, it's Manning. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get
they?
a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Now Manning. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games.
Welcome in, everyone. I'm your host, Jonathan Coachman, and
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10.
Let's go, stop.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken very short. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are visitors to take over on offense.
Check 55, Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
On first down, Peyton, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Manning, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Nice move at the 40. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll run on 1st down. Dickerson. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. 55 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. The Packers keeping the offense out there now as they'll go for 2. So a big-time scamper there to cap a touchdown on the opening drive.
Sets a tone,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That's how we do it, baby.
So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
This will be taken short. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense.
18 Gator.
55. Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day.
On play action. Now Manning. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ted Hendricks making his presence felt.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Ready. 94. Kill. Turn up. Get it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Manning. Oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, Dickerson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the 1st. The Packers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go, D.
On 1st down, Dickerson looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Jackson now off the bootleg, rolling to his right. This will be caught by Randy Moss. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Randy Moss, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson on the move to his left. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
That's it. Big hit.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This time able to hold on to the football, but not much room to run. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? Flush to it, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Stork, Hall of Famer Ted Hendricks, came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And they need to work to at least get some. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. And the Packers pick it up. And they've got it just 2 yards away from the end zone. They'll have it 1st and goal here from the 2-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
It's a gain of 1 yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Hey, let's get there.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on. From the gun, Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go!
So here are visitors to take over on offense. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
2nd and 6.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So 2 quarters down. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack it.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 75 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I couldn't understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve. You had to say it too.
So far, it's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
You better be afraid of me.
From the 27, Manning nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Stork, Hall of Famer Ted Hendricks, able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. On 3rd and long, it's Manning. They complete it to Hill. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They needed 15, they got 16 and a 1st down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
They run the counter. Peyton, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here, because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Stork, Hall of Famer Ted Hendricks, getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Manning now to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. The Stork, Hall of Famer Ted Hendricks. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the 1st. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Oh, you got deep?
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sacked by the relentless Howie Long.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Holt. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards.
But go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll roll him out right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, with a pick.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Manning now on first down. That's complete to his running back, Peyton. He's got the first down and more past midfield. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he gets this one down to the 24. On first and 10, here's Manning. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. To throw is Manning. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up third and goal.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the...
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Prater for the extra point. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
On second down now, Dickerson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another.
Hello, everybody. Coach here, welcoming you to Madden Ultimate Team. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime. But for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a give, right side. Dickerson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Well, Carolina trots back out here, Charles, thinking about their season. November 3rd, they won in Tennessee. That moved them to 5-3, and then they did not win a game the rest of the year. 8 straight losses to finish up last place in the NFC South, and now a new sheriff in town with Ron Rivera out.
Yeah, now you've got Matt Rule coming in from Baylor, highly regarded as a college coach, as a builder. Because you have to remember, when Matt Rule took his first job at Temple, they were not very good. Rough first year, better second year, third year, big payoff. Goes to Baylor. After some scandal and some controversy there, he takes over another program, way down, wins 1 game his first year. This past season, played Oklahoma late in the year in the Big 12 title game for the right to go to the college football playoffs. So this guy knows how to build a program, and he has NFL experience. Was an offensive line coach with the Giants. And all you're hearing in these days since he's been announced as the head coach, former Giants talk about the impact he had on that team in 1 season. So this is going to be an interesting deal for him going to Carolina. Can he get Cam Newton back healthy and get their offense kick-started again? Because Christian McCaffrey, he's awfully good.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Rolling to his right. He may try it. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll run on first down. Dickerson, and able to break. One tackle, but then quickly brought down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Reggie White, what a force, got back there for the sack. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st, as he can only make it to the 11. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's Sanders, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lawrence Taylor. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Tre'Davious White, the LSU man, there to knock it away that time. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-30. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now Wilson on 1st down. There's a catch made by Hopkins. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On 3rd down, Wilson. That's caught. It's Jerry Rice. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Lutz's kick is good. But wait up now, a flag is down. If this is on the defense, they're going to get the first. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offside. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. After the sack on 1st down, Wilson, and he's going to go down again. Reggie White on the sack there, showing the explosiveness that led him to the Hall of Fame. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. First half in the... Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. First and 10, it's Sanders. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game. People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
On 1st down, Dickerson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
They'll run it. Here's Okoye trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Escaping. And it's a touchdown for the Packers. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point 4th quarter lead. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, Dickerson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Jackson to throw again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Tucker's kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This will be taken very short. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down by 7. A minute 50 to play. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Stork, Hall of Famer Ted Hendricks. In there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Throw complete there to Jerry Rice. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline. And he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you go on the field, but okay, I see you. The escapability in evidence there. Is that one good for 15 in the first?
All right, partner, I'm a defender.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up An exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
And now the Packers get set to go. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They'll run on first down. Dickerson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They run the counter. Dickerson, he's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he slings one that's incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1, we want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable that they even attempted from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
We focus our attention on the Green Bay defense as they head out. They are looking to preserve this shutout, so for them, a lot on the line.
A lot on the line, a lot of pride that goes into that. Because let's face it, when you've had that kind of a day, you do not want any type of a fluke play to end it. You're going to win the game. That's not the issue. But to have a clean ledger going into the locker room and sitting in film next week, oh, that's satisfying.
Good.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
They're looking to cradle that goose egg. Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end Gonzalez. A gain of 6 there on first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He finds Hopkins complete. And he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Choose the mic. All day, punt. Check 22, Jet, Bama. 22, Jet, Bama.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
Don't throw this way.
This is a real lift for a defense. It's been a long drive, and you're starting to drag a little bit out there. Been pushed back, and now instead of caving in, here's the play you were waiting for. And the interception means that long drive is going to yield nothing for the offense.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Wilson's pass. Complete to Barry Sanders.
Brings up
3rd down.
Check 55 for Mike. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Play action. It's Wilson. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Intended for Jerry Rice. Incomplete.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory.